All right, guys, don't forget about Underdog Wireline, man. I'm doing a quick shout out for these guys. You know, they've been sponsoring us since day one almost, man. So it's a great guys, great company. You know, if you need a logged, perfed, you know, they do completion, open hole. They got they got drop guns, man. They got lay down machines. They got all kinds of stuff, dude. So check them out. Don't forget, I'm gonna put the number up right here. Look them up, man. They're great people. They know how to get it done. I worked with them personally out here, you know, especially on the wireline side. So I know exactly what they're doing. Their hands are out there helping out. So I've said it before. I'll say it again, man. Hit them up. They're the best out here. Give them a shout out, dude.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Patch Boys again, here to announce yet another sponsor, Branded 14 Hot Shot Services LLC. They offer hot shot work, ESP spooling, ESP technician service, and heavy hauling with semis. These guys are local. They're helping us out, so we want to help them out. Go give them a call at 432-638-1755. All the other information we're going to put right down here, so you guys can give them a call, send them an email, however you need to get in contact with them. We appreciate it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Patch Boys back again with another special guest. We got Mrs. Shandy Williams in here with us, and she's running for District 3 City Council. So, man, we're going to let her introduce herself and go on with her opening statement or whatever you want to call it, right? Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Shandy Williams, and I am excited to be running for District 3 City Council. I am not a politician, and I hate that all politicians say that. Yeah. But I am first and foremost a Christian. I am very devoted to my faith, and I am a mother and a wife to 3 children. One is already grown and married, and the other 2 have moved to upper school at Midland Classical Academy. So I'm really excited for all this free time I'm going to have on my hands. I say that, and I'm hoping, you know, that will change come January. I'll be sitting in that city council seat. Mm-hmm. If not, my husband's going to start another business, and I'm going to be the one running it. We do have 3 businesses, and of those 3, I have been the forefront of 2 of them. One of them is on the Gulf Coast, and it is the most successful tourist attraction in the Gulf Coast. We've got 32 jet skis. And so that is our fun business. We have been able to build that up and just pretty much, you know, let it launch into where it needs to go. So we are actually running a business 520 miles from home, which is quite amazing. I could not have done that without the West Texas grit and hustle that I learned here. Mm-hmm. I'm a 3rd generation Midlander. There's so many situations that we have to remember, and we need to think about with our oil fields, the ups and the downs. We haven't seen a lot of downturn here lately. Mm-hmm. We're expecting to have another set this next year. Mm-hmm. I'm praying it's not too bad. We've got a little bit more diversification in our fields. But there's just that one situation, you know, in the 80s when we were all young, it was a really bad downturn. My father was actually mowing yards, so just to make ends meet when he was laid off. And we've seen our fair share, you know, through the 90s, and every decade we'd had a downturn. And I think because of that has just given me the hustle, the grit, the West Texas dirt and oil, literally beneath my fingernails, just to get out there and grind and hustle harder and never stop. You know, of course, my husband has been a big proponent in that as well.
Wow, that's awesome, That's a pretty good intro.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, and I was curious too because I couldn't find too much about you. I knew you were 3rd generation, but I didn't really know the specifics. So are you did you go to school here? Or?
I did. I went to Anson Jones in elementary, and then I transferred over to Fannin. Then from there, I went to San Jacinto Junior High, and San Jacinto Junior High at that time was lead district. Mm-hmm. They redistrict, and are you both from here?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have a huge rivalry, and that's Midland and Lee, and you don't cross the 2. The bloods don't meet, and you aren't friends.
Yeah.
So when they redistrict, my dad was just so upset. He was like, there is no way we both graduated. Your mother and I both graduated from Lee. You are not going to Midland High over our dead body. We bought this house for 2 reasons. It had a swimming pool, and it was in Lee District. Mm-hmm. And so he went down and got a transfer for me every single year because we had to. And so then I couldn't do UIL sports, unfortunately, because of that. Yeah. It was during the Cedric Benson era. Oh. So they were very protective over that. But I did graduate. I went to Midland College for a couple of semesters, and then I went to Odessa College.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Okay, dang.
Nice.
So that's
totally
where you
local.
From.
I am absolutely local. I've never moved away from Midland. I've lived here my entire life. Just Midland is home. When, once you get in town, I tell people all the time, when you get into town and you see those orange flares burning,
Oh yeah.
there is something about that, like you're home. And they're like, well, maybe it's the trash that's blowing around on 158. And I'm like, no, it's the smell, the atmosphere, everything that you could possibly think of. Midland is, it's just right at your fingertips. Whether you're coming down 158, I-20, doesn't matter how you're coming in.
Yeah, you see it.
349, it's just what we are. We're our own bubble, and it's just so great to be home. So I've never left.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty. I mean,
I feel the same way.
and we're from here too. I mean, we went to
feel
school
the same
together
way.
at Alamo, and then we went to Lee. So, we were just from here too. So that's
My
pretty
my daughters are heading to Midland. I don't know yet how I'm gonna, but I'll get out of it.
So my oldest son went to Midland High, and I would wear my Lee shirt underneath when I would wear his Midland High jersey, because the closest thing to my heart was Lee.
Yeah.
Isn't that terrible? That was just high school.
That's just what I mean. That we all grew up that way. It's the same thing with Odessa. We got the same rivalry with Odessa. Like
Yes.
Yeah. As much as I have friends in Odessa and family in Odessa, and I just won't set foot over there. I mean, I think I think honestly the closest that we got over there is like just the hotels, like the MCM or whatever. And we go to Christmas parties and stuff, and then we come right back. But we understand totally.
So like you being here all your life, did you ever think you'd be running for a city council or anything like that?
Absolutely not.
No?
Absolutely not. Politics was the furthest from any goal I ever had. It was being a mother. I really just wanted to be a homeroom mom, to show up to all the school parties, and we're blessed to be at Midland Classical Academy. So that has opened up opportunities of volunteer, and I tell everybody I'm literally a serial volunteer.
Yeah, that's awesome.
If you need volunteer, just call me. I'm there. It doesn't matter what time, it doesn't matter what day, it doesn't matter how many hours, doesn't matter what the project is. And so I was able to really exercise my love for those around me by volunteering, and that's been a huge blessing. I think around 120 hours is what I would do every single year at our school, and we only needed 20.
Oh, dang. That's quite a bit. That's quite a bit, man.
And you just see a need, and you just step in and fulfill that.
I got you.
In grammar school, we had so many children. I mean, they needed leadership. And that usually was where my role was just stepping in and being the leader for things.
Yeah.
To delegate who does what. And everybody would say, oh, I'm just a little honeybee. And I'm like, well, let me just tell you, I'm the queen bee. I got you.
Yeah.
We're going to do this. And we all would work collectively together. And so it really worked out well. And so that was just my main goal, was being a mom and taking care of my children to the fullest.
Okay. And you see, I've seen you around a lot. I mean, especially on the Vander Ranch thing. And then now I've seen you on the, last night I watched you on the debate, and that was really well too. How was that going to the debate? Was it like kind of nerve-wracking in a way, or
public speaking?
Yeah, like
no, because I really don't have a problem with public speaking. I can pretty much speak to anybody at any time about anything. And if I only know what I know, and I don't know what I don't know, and I stand firm on that. Being at Vander Ranch opened up so many options for me, and that is actually how I was almost thrust into this role of running for city council. I never in a million years would have imagined that I, Shandy Williams, am running for city council District 3.
Yeah.
It just was not on the forefront.
It's our district, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Both of ours.
Yeah, both of ours.
Both
Yeah.
of ours.
So one of the things that I really truly understood at the very moment, and it was a moment that God called me forward. And I do everything with him, for him, through him. And I was at Vander Ranch, and the moment I walked into this one household, it was overwhelming. The stress, the fear, the panic, the frustrations that were held in this mother's hands. And I just thought she could not be able to love her family well because of the weight that was put on her shoulders for something so simple as water. Not having water. And then when you do have water, the quality of your water is terrible. And I was overwhelmed by every emotion you could possibly think of. And I just immediately went to, we need to pray. Nino was there with me. Stan was there. I was doing a thing with Midland Street News where I was doing reporting. And when we just stopped and just prayed that their fears would be calmed. And there was a shift. There was a change. And I knew at that very moment I was going to walk out that house and never be the same. But I didn't know this was going to be it. And I'm proud to say that that lady in that house is now my treasurer. So she is literally on this journey with me.
Wow.
I'm doing this for every person that hasn't felt like they were listened to, that every elected official that they've gone to, they've been dismissed or flat out ignored.
Yeah.
Dang, that's pretty. I mean, that's pretty neat. I mean, to do something like that, and then honestly, to find the courage to do that too is hard. Like, because sometimes you never know where. We just talked about this the other day. Like to pray like that, you don't know sometimes where it's going to go. But I mean, for you to have that courage to do that is awesome too.
Right.
And then to walk away with it, something good, and then somebody with you.
It should definitely be applauded.
Yeah, that's awesome
for sure. So, how do you feel going up against someone who has is so seasoned? Like, I wouldn't say, I mean, local politics for sure, but other stuff as well, right? The experience that Jack Ladd has going up against you, if you put you guys on paper without knowing your personality or anything about you or anything like that, it's lopsided, obviously, right?
Absolutely.
So how do you feel you close that gap? Like, tell the people what you feel you bring to the table to close that gap.
Oh, well, I bring a lot to the table because, one, I'm going to show up. My husband had open heart surgery. It was an emergency. He had a massive heart attack and had to have a double bypass. I was in ICU with him, and because of pain, we were up all night, less than 2 hours of sleep. I was required to be at the Women's Republic meeting and not speaking or anything. There was no obligation that I needed to be there other than I said I was going to be there. Yeah. I had already made my reservations and I was going to be there. I still showed up. I still showed up, and I showed up in full Shandy mode because that's what I do. I don't half-ass anything.
Yeah.
Nothing I do comes half. And so when you look at Jack Ladd, yeah, he's seasoned. He's been there for 6 years. He's an attorney. He's been with K. Bailey Hutchinson. He's got all these accolades, but accolades don't bring moments to the table when you're not present. And I feel like at this time, we don't have a city council member who has actually been present in the needs of the constituents in District 3. And if I can come in and I can show that, that means the world. So I already feel like without experience, that is something that can be gained. And then it's gained by the moments that you participate in. Jack Ladd went into city council not having all the experience, and he didn't have all the statistics and all the knowledge in the forefronts.
True.
Look at Lori Blanc. She did not either. She was in city council for one time for her 3 years, and then she was mayor. Yeah. I mean, she was thrust into mayor. So it's those small moments that prepare you for whatever that next step is. So my preparation has been working and busting my tail to get the news story out for Vander Ranch and the water crisis that we have going on there. So if that's my platform that I'm supposed to be jumping off into the waters on, I think it's a great jump start for me. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, this girl can swim, and I can swim long. So I'm ready for any challenge, and I don't believe that inexperience is an excuse. Because how many of us, we go to start our jobs, go to start our businesses, we've never done it before. I've never ran a jet ski rental company. Yeah. I've rode jet skis for fun, but never owned a rental company, not 520 miles from my front doorstep. And so now I just sit here and I'm like, that to me is like the back of my hand. Yeah. We've pushed all other competition literally out of the water, no pun intended, but we literally have pushed them all out of the water because they can't compete with us. We just did it, and we did it well. Yeah. But we didn't know what we were doing. We had no clue. And it's just taking that plunge. So I feel like just signing up was the first step. And confidence isn't something I lack. I'm probably one of the women who can just walk into anything, and I'm just going to wing it, guys. Yeah. I mean, I'm just going to wing it, and it's going to work out or it's not. And we're going to go back to the drawing board and say, that didn't work, and this is what we'll do to change it.
Wow.
Nice.
Dang.
I like that.
That's a lot of good clips I can make out of that stuff, man.
We got a few of them right there. But
you think you could pull that wire a little behind your arm, man? Just a little. There you go. It's throwing on there. But one thing about I noticed is, at least I've seen like on the videos and stuff, I've seen that you're not scared to get in front of people and like say anything. Like I've seen you, like last night you were coming at kind of, you threw that the cap of what his house was valued at and stuff like that, and that was pretty wild too. But I mean, I've seen the other videos with you with Terry Johnson and all that, and it's like, I mean, you're not scared of authority, in other words, right?
I'm not, but I do respect authority, and that it seems to be a concern for most constituents who are going to be heading to the elections polls. You know, is she able to maintain her demure when she goes up against you have to understand, I was a citizen who had already been silenced one time.
Yeah.
And that's all it took. So when I go back in, you're not silencing me a second time. And the problem with that is at Vander Ranch, unfortunately, we have several situations where there was multiple people reaching out to higher elected officials. They went all the way to the state and they were dismissed. You need to talk to your city commissioners. Everything went back to the bottom rung on the ladder, and the bottom rung on the ladder completely dismissed them.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's one of those things, like sometimes it's going to take the person, and, you know, this is my grandfather saying, talk to the tall hog at the trough. And my grandfather was 6'4", and he was just, he meant a lot to me. He was a Golden Glove national heavyweight boxer. So is that where I get the fight in me? Absolutely. Without a doubt. And, you know, he was just larger than life. And he always took authority and command when he walked into a room. And I probably learned a little bit of that from him. Probably not in the way that a female should, but I don't believe that I go in with respect of the respect I'm given.
Right.
And that day with Terry Johnson, there was no respect given. You violated my First Amendment rights by silencing me just because I told him that he worked for us. And I always put myself in the same situation. That situation is, you are exactly like me. You are no different than I am. We both put our pants on one leg at a time. Sometimes we might jump in them. But, you know, at the end of the day, we are both people. And you should be able to hear anger and frustration as passion for a certain subject.
Honestly, to segue off of that, I think probably if I'm one of the constituents out there, which I am, and I'm wondering about that question or what we were just asking, whether or not you would be afraid to do that when you're in office. Obviously, the answer is no, but the respect is going to be mutual. Now, the question is, let's say you are elected, your co-workers, right? These are the people that you've gotten into it with, for lack of a better word or phrase, right? And now you're working with them side by side. Do you think there will be good synergy there? Do you believe that when you get there, no matter who it is, you'll be able to work with them side by side, no issue?
Oh, absolutely. I tell everybody all the time, I can work side by side with Terry Johnson, because at the end of the day, that wasn't personal.
Yeah.
I don't take anything personal. And that's probably why I have such a thick skin, is because I don't think you have an opinion about me. That's yours. I don't own it. Yeah. I don't claim it. I don't keep it. It's not mine. And yes, that can probably be a flaw, but it's worked really well in my entire life. So I do not take things personally. At the end of the day, you know, you never know exactly what something is, you know, going on in a situation or maybe someone's life. Yep. You don't understand the bottom line. At that day, I don't know why Terry Johnson chose not to listen to his constituents, but he did. Yeah. It wasn't personal. That was business. Yeah. I see him out and I always say hi.
Yeah.
And I say hi with a smile and not a smirk, not a, you know, I'm going to get you back, not a vendetta against him. There's nothing like that. Nothing whatsoever. And so you have to remember, all of these people are going to have their own opinions, their own approaches, and you just have to be respectful of it. And remember, business is business and personal is personal.
Oh, that's great. And I think, in this day and age and in the political climate that we live in now, basically, man, having thick skin is a superpower. I think we see it in our president right now. It's, you know what I mean? And so I think that's a very good skill to have. So thank you for sharing that.
So, like, what do you think you've done different than Jack Ladd has done so far? Like, the things that he's voted for, the way he's...
Or the most glaring thing to you.
So right now, Jack Ladd is, unfortunately, he's not present in the meetings for what needs to go onto the agenda. And that comes from current councilmen that are there. That's information that they have shared. And they actually enjoy it because they are able to get more stuff pushed through because he is not there. So if they want something on or they don't want something on, it's much easier. So that is the situation. I'm being present. One thing I would do is I want my constituents to tell me what they want.
Yeah.
Because Shandy's voice has to go from 1,000 to 0, and 22,000 voices have to rise up over mine. And I have to hear them. I have to listen to them. Can I do everything that everybody wants? Absolutely not. That's unrealistic, right? Yeah. But what I can do is I can listen to the majority, and I can take the notes of even the minority and say, okay, I understand your concerns, and I'm going to see where this can fit in. Because something I have on my, guess my background is I can talk to people.
Yeah.
But I'm even better listener. So I just want to be able to hear them and see what they want. Now, as far as policies, I would stop touting that we have 100-year water solution.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, that's not true. Number one, how many people is that 100-year water solution for? Was it for the 140,000? Because we claimed that in 2024, that we have a 100-year water solution. They're very proud of this Paul Davis field. Yeah. Well, the Paul Davis field is full of arsenic. I'm not going to be drinking it. You're not going to be drinking it.
Yeah.
It's not a solution if we're still working on it. There's a level that you have to get to before you can call it success. We're not there with water. And we don't need to have false hope or false sense of security in what they have put together and taken and put on the plat as this is our water solution. We can't do that.
So expanding on the water stuff, right? It gets a little bit muddled because obviously, like you say, both sides, one side claims we're not there yet. The other side claims we are there, and we have a way of expanding what our current water situation is, right? When we spoke to Mayor Blanc, she was very convinced that in her new term, she was going to be able to expand the amount of water resources that we would have moving on down the line, right? If that's not the case, and we're still working to quote unquote get there, right? Do you believe that the solution is there already on the table, or do you think it's going to take searching and a lot more work to get there? Are they close, or you believe we're far from it?
I believe they're somewhat close.
Okay.
But we are not there. The solution is not on the table yet.
Okay.
If we're still looking to see how we can preserve Paul Davis water supply and get the arsenic out to make it drinkable, that's something we can't even do in our own water. How many times have you gotten the letter saying we've got arsenic in our water, or we've got limited traces of this or that? Another thing is our water treatment facility plants.
Yeah.
We're a little bit outdated. So let's go back to the zebra mussels, the infestation. So do you guys know that Midland has the most boats per capita?
No, I didn't know that.
Well, my husband and I both contribute to that with, we have what, 37, babe? 37. Yeah. So, but before that we did. It was quite funny because at one time Port Aransas Harbor actually had more yachts owned by Midlanders than any other city. So it was, it's that oil field money, right?
Yeah, of course.
So, situations like that, we literally have got to take a step back and look and see exactly what we have. We do not have a 100-year water solution. Number one, our population is going up, and it's going up in incredible numbers.
Yeah.
We were sitting at, I believe they just put out the new signs, and it's 157,000 for our population.
Yeah.
but they believe it to be more along the lines of 167 to 170,000.
Well, kids in record numbers, right? It's going to do that too.
Well, and I can tell you when Stephen was having his heart attack, I was waiting for my niece to be born. And while I was waiting she's my adopted niece, but while I was waiting for her to be born, it was just like, when is she coming? When is she? And they were inducing. We had 4 sets of twins. 4 sets of twins.
Wow.
And I was just like, what is going on? Every time I'd get on the elevator, I'm like, do we have any new babies yet? And they were like, no, yeah, we've got plenty of babies, but not the baby you want. Because, and I started talking with people and, dads were just walking off carrying these, carriers 2 at a time. And I was just like, what is in the water?
What's in the water?
What is in the water? But at the same time, that also leads me to say, we have not, they're projecting 3,000. I'm going to say it might be a little more than that. Just children that are born this year. We are in a baby boom, which we need to be. However, we're not projecting for those numbers. We were projecting for 2024. So as we keep growing, we need to expand on that. So do we have that? Our water treatment facility is not up to date. We saw that with the zebra mussels getting in. Everybody brings their boat back from San Angelo, Henry, wherever, and they clean their boats here.
Yeah.
So, of course, we're going to have zebra mussels. That's not a new thing. And we've known about it since, I believe, 2022, possibly 2015. There was an issue. So, but for sure, 2022, they started seeing it. One thing Midland is they're not proactive. They're reactive every single time. So we start treating, trying to treat that facility for the zebra mussel infestation that has gotten absolutely out of control. Meanwhile, 70-mile pipeline for T-Bar M Ranch, unfortunately, it has a faulty valve in it. It was put in 13 years ago. It was supposed to be a 40-year valve. Are you guys in the oil field?
Yep.
Okay. Number one, that valve, they can say it's a 40-year valve. It's only as good as the materials in it.
For sure.
And if we're running that from the waters that are coming from, think of how hard our water is.
Yeah.
That's after it's been treated. Yeah. It's going to corrode. So we can't put stock into something that we are saying is 40 years. We need to cut it in half and be like, guys, we're going to be lucky if we get 20.
Yeah.
And we need to be maintaining every 5 to 10 years max. I would be more comfortable with 5. So do we have a solution? No, we're headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
I believe we need some more water sources. So we've got the data centers. Do you know about those that are going up between Lubbock?
Yes, I've heard of them. Yeah.
So it's 500 million gallons of water to cool for one day.
Wow.
Now, what happens to that water as it's cooling?
Evaporates, right?
It evaporates. It's gone. It's absolutely gone. So if they're pulling from the Ugalago aquifer, we are in trouble. We are in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
So we need to be expanding because we're going to be pulled out from multiple ways. And if we continue in the drought that we are in, it's going to even get worse with our lakes that we pull from.
Mad Max style, huh? Like,
yes.
Just getting, that's crazy. Like, you know a lot about the water. I'll tell you that much. Like, I don't know that much stuff.
Bread and butter right there. Yeah. For sure.
You know, one thing I wanted to bring up, just to get off a little bit, last night when you were on the debate, you did say one thing about the circuit breaker cap loss. And I think that really, with Jack Ladd, right? Jack Ladd?
Yes.
It just kind of really opened a lot of people's eyes, I think, where people are like, what, is that real? Like, is that accurate? And I know it's public information.
Hey everybody, Patch Boys here. We want to do this quick short so we can provide some information about our new sponsors, Underdog Wireline. You can see I'm wearing their merch here. So I just want to tell you a few things that they provide. Of course, they're in Wireline. In Wireline, they provide pump down, logging, pipe recovery services, and as well production work. And some of the other stuff that they provide, they have emergency shower trailers and cool down trailers for rent. At the end of this, we're going to put their contact information. They believe in us, we believe in them, and I think we're a match made in heaven. We appreciate all the support, and we hope that you support Underdog Wireline as well. Thank you guys. Hey, what's up everybody? Patch Boys here, showing the new merch drop from Tejas Hustle, man. Man, they got amazing hats. They just gave us a plethora of hats to show off. We got some corduroy hats, nice and soft, light as a feather. Some trucker hats, man, that you're used to wearing out in the patch. looking amazing. We got some hunting gear. You know what I'm saying? Little orange love right there. And this hat that we're wearing right now, which Ricky's gonna gush over in just a few seconds, man. We appreciate it. We appreciate Texas Hustle for hooking us up, man, making us look good.
Oh yeah, man. We love it, man. We appreciate all the support. Like he said, I'm loving this hat, bro. This hat right here, look, man, it looks good on both of us, bro. And we got two different types of heads. So
yeah,
check them out, man. And, these guys support us. If you're looking for any shirts, you're looking for any decals, you're looking for any cowboy gear, something, man, check them out at TejasHatco.com. Look at their links on the bottom of our description on the episodes, and you can be able to get them. So support them like you support us. If you love us, you love the Permian Basin, you love the oil and gas industry, you love this local thing we got going, check them out, man, because they're doing great stuff, and we appreciate their support.
Shop local, and don't forget, keep on hustling, baby.
There you go.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Patch Boys again, here to announce yet another sponsor, Branded 14 Hot Shot Services, LLC. They offer hot shot work, ESP spooling, ESP technician service, and heavy hauling with semis. These guys are local. They're helping us out, so we want to help them out. Go give them a call at 432-638-1755. All the other information we're going to put right down here, so you guys can give them a call, send them an email, however you need to get in contact with them. We appreciate it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Patch Boys here. Blessed again to be announcing another sponsor for us. This one's going to be Titan. They're running out of crane. They're real close to me. It's family. So we want you guys to support them like they support us, right? So they're running out of crane. If you want to get in contact with them, it's 432-307-1960. Some of the stuff that they offer right now, if they have rustabout maintenance crews, trash trailers, porta potties, combo trailers, forklifts, and they're adding more stuff every single day. So if you guys want to support them so they can continue to support us and give you all the content that you want, go ahead and give them a call. Thank you.
So one of the things is I'm a researcher, and I was doing this during COVID. I was an advocate during COVID, asking people to please do your research about COVID. Please do your research about the vaccines. And I don't want people to ever just take my word. I want you to go look for yourself, because knowledge is power. And I believe that's the way we can all be powerful, is by educating ourselves and not just taking the words of someone else. So that wasn't intended to be dropped then, but there was no better time to do it than right then.
Right.
And this is not private information. You can go and look up everything I own. In fact, Jared Sparks, he went on and he has since deleted, I guess, dog with his tail between his legs. He since deleted the post, and he says, well, you have a building that your business is in that is for sale for 13 times the amount that you are not paying taxes on. Number one, that building was listed under a nonprofit. Nonprofits don't pay taxes. So they don't care about updating appraisal values on it. They just don't.
Yeah.
And we are selling it, but we're also selling it as just south of 349. And there was a huge pilot station that was put in. So now you've got the gas, and that area is booming.
Absolutely.
Why wouldn't my husband sell it? He was like, I can cash in on this. Why don't we sell now? And that was nowhere close to what we paid for it, but we bought in 2019. So things like that, that's all public information. You can go look anything up about anybody. And it's also kind of scary. But that right there was Jack Ladd. His house is worth $606,000. And he has a homestead circuit breaker cap loss. Now, everybody should apply for a homestead. We lost our homestead this year because we didn't realize ours was up. Homestead means that is your primary residence that you live in. So if you own a home, you go look on, it's MidCAD, MIDCAD.org. You go on and you look it up. You can type in any address. You can type in just a last name, and you can find out where anybody lives. And it has their mineral rights. It has, if they, have a business, their light fixtures. You can find the evaluations of pretty much everything there. So when I went on and just, I'm a researcher. If I want to know about you, I want to know about you. I want to know everything. Where's, especially when there's a smear campaign being ran against you. You're like, okay, what do you have? Because not everybody's closet is clean. Yeah. But I don't shy away from anything that's in my closet. And so that was one of the things. And when I saw that, you've got a $606,000 valued home that you're paying taxes on $353,000. Well, let me go back and look. Where is it at? Historical district, right next to Southwest Museum. Beautiful homes over there. 4,000 square feet, and it's almost, it's a little over, I think it was like 0.36 or something of an acre. So you're on a good size lot.
Yeah.
One of the larger lots of Midland, which is in that historical district with a size house. How is that happening? You've got a circuit breaker cap loss. Circuit breaker cap loss is where they're saying that you have your appraisal value has exceeded the amount you can sell your house for. Well, one thing I can tell you is my house right now will not sell for $353,000. I live over by Fannin. It's not going to sell for that. It's going to sell for a lot more.
Yeah.
And so will his. And my house is half the size and not on as big of a lot. So I immediately knew red flags are up. Nobody has $253,000 loss on their taxes that they don't have to pay taxes on. Why is it? And so then, of course, Mr. Ladd says, well, you own 3 or 4 homes. And I'm like, my kids were in the audience and they were shocked. They were like, did you know we have more homes?
Yeah.
We only own 1 home. We had a building and it has been sold. My husband has mineral rights. Other than that, in Port Aransas, we have a 5th wheel that stays in a leased space just because, unfortunately, taxes are so high there. They're almost equivalent to Midland. So if that's not going to be our primary residence, why would we spend that? It's nice having our yard done and everything taken care of, and we go back and forth. So those things, it's all public information. Every bit of that is public information. So we need to be educating ourselves. Something else, we have the mayor. A lot of people don't know this. She had a beautiful home in Grassland. She has now moved to it was valued at $400,000. She moved to a $1.1 million home on Cuthbert this year. That's shocking. You're getting paid $75 to be mayor, and you're making these expenditures, I will call them, personally. How are these things happening? Why are the people who are in elected positions making the wealth that you and I aren't making? Where is it coming through? And we have got to stop the flow. And it seems to be constant. We can kind of pinpoint back where it all went haywire. And now you're seeing people who would have never supported each other now supporting. And you go, what changed? There's a protection. MDC, I think, is going to uncover a lot of that.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a lot of uncovering from MDC.
Yeah, it's actually been a lot on I think I've never heard about MDC as much as I do now.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a big spotlight on it for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's good for the people. I think we obviously need to know, and we need to maybe give a reason to educate ourselves more locally what's happening, because a lot of us don't even know, it's just, it's a wild thing. But I think what you're saying is it's a lot of information. It's crazy.
It's eye-opening for sure.
I tell everybody it's like the rabbit hole never ends. It doesn't matter what it is. When you start looking at something, it leads you to something else. So one of the things that we came across was MDC. They had that property that's out there off of Big Spring that the Omni Hotel is going to be built on. We're calling it the Omni.
Yeah.
One, there was never a contract with Santa Rita and City of Midland or MDC. That's what they originally sold us Midlanders on, was Santa Rita Hotel, the Santa Rita Hotel. There was never a contract with anything to do with the Santa Rita Hotel. The contract that is sitting on that land right now is with the Midland Downtown Renaissance LP.
Okay.
So I want to know, who owns Midland Downtown Renaissance LP? Well, it's not owned in Midland. It's owned out of El Paso. Is it convenient that our mayor lived in El Paso and was a teacher? Is it convenient that our city manager lived in El Paso? Why do we have these strong ties back to El Paso right now? And then we need to take note, because El Paso is pretty much bankrupt, and I mean, they're about as liberal as can be right now.
Yeah. We know that for sure.
Yeah. So we have got to protect what is Midland, and that's the conservative values. Keep our money in our pockets and keep our family traditions safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe that 100%. And I've seen you do that a lot. I mean, I've seen you expose a lot of people who try to come off as Republican and they're not. And I thought that was pretty, I like when people do that, you know, because sometimes a lot of us don't have time to look it up, and then we see it and like, what? That don't make sense. You got photos or something, like, why would they say that? You know what I mean? So I like stuff like that, man. So I've seen you do that, and I think that's pretty awesome how you do that to the community, because I think that's the biggest thing you can do is help the community out by giving them information that they can use, you know,
for
facts,
sure.
you know,
For
so
sure.
Right.
yeah.
And, you know, and I'll tell you, if I was mistaken on something, I'll be like, guys, okay, I was actually wrong. I was wrong on this. Another thing on MDC is we gave $45 million. The mayor said at their debate, we gave $45 million for a parking garage. We didn't give it to the hotel. We gave it for a 800 spot parking garage. Okay. Number one, I know some concrete people, and we could get that done a heck of a lot cheaper and take home more.
Yeah.
So, there was also another applicant, and it was the Insignia Hospitality Group. They own approximately 20 large hotels throughout Texas. So they have already got the references. They're going to be a quality source. They wanted nothing. They didn't want a single dime, and they wanted to pay us for the land, pay MDC for the land. And we told them no. So we turned around and we handed Midland Downtown Renaissance LP $45 million and gave them the land.
Wow.
Yeah, that's weird.
What's the business deal?
Yeah.
Anybody who's in business, you don't even have to be in business. You just have to have common sense.
Yeah.
That was not a smart deal. And why?
Yeah.
And I guess that's all we have to do is just start asking the questions.
For
why?
sure. For sure.
Dang.
Now, are you at all, whenever this stuff comes up, and are you at all worried about being in office, right, and having this information, and with being labeled a whistleblower or any of that stuff? Are you worried about any of those things? Yeah.
That's all I got to say. Like, you want a whistleblower? Are you talking about my life being threatened?
I mean, anything that comes with it, right?
Come on.
You know what they do.
Yeah, I am literally Psalms 91. I have a hedge of protection over me. The Lord, there is not one weapon formed that will prosper against me, not one flaming arrow that will touch me. I am divine, I am chosen, and I am here. I don't know if you guys have looked at the campaign finance reports, but mine's pretty scrawny.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I have done more in the means of my scrawny amount than those who got a $50,000 donation in their lap. And all I have to say is that was the Lord's doing.
Yeah.
And so he's not going to take me anywhere that I can't tread water. And so they can't, again, that's probably a flaw. You know, my husband says, you know, we've got to be careful. We just have got to be careful. But at the same time, he also knows my faith is so great. And I just leave that up to the Lord, and the Lord has me. I mean, we know the Charlie Kirk stuff is real. We had a lady that went on to the radio station, K-Well, I think it was.
Yeah, K-Well.
Yeah, and her name's Heather Ferris. She can't disguise herself even if she wanted to. She blocks everybody I know, and then she goes and talks crap about me. But she went on to K-Well, and she was just blatantly calling us Socratic terrorist and all kinds of things, and we've got to take them out type tone and verbiage and those things like that, you know, immediately take it to the police. Like, we've got a great police department. We're going to let them handle it. And they're not taking anything lightly after Charlie Kirk. And so, you know, and I do know there has been a lot of backlash, unfortunately, with some of our city council members who are sitting right now.
Yeah.
They have been excluded and exiled from meetings. They are not, you know, they don't allow dissent because of the way they voted. And so one of the things they've all asked is that I come in and help be that backbone.
Yeah.
Because, again, I'm not fearful.
And, you know, but speaking of that,
courageous.
and that is good. I mean, especially when you have the faith of God in you, and you trust in Him, that you're not going to be scared of nothing, right? And I respect that. You know, I wanted to ask you this too, though, like, because that video has gone around about the secret meetings with Jack Ladd, and it's with Dan Corrales on there too. And I was just kind of curious, what's your perspective on it? Because it is a short clip, and I'm kind of curious what they're talking about, secret meetings and stuff like that. What is your view on that?
Well, we shouldn't be doing anything in secret.
Yeah.
If you're talking about taxpayer dollars, it should all be done in public. There should be no closed meetings. There should be no consent meetings. Consent agendas is what they call them. None of that should be taking place. If it has something to do with the betterment of Midland, Texas, and it's utilizing their tax dollars, they better have a voice. They have to know what's going on to have that voice. And we need to be informing them.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious because I mean, I hear them talking about it, and like some lady was supposed to be on a board and she wasn't. It kind of confused me.
So
MDC
that was,
board, right?
that was Lucy. So she was actually serving on 2 boards. She was on MDC and she was on planning and zoning. And so there was a very quick discussion about how we've decided all of a sudden we're only going to let you be on 1 board. Lucy, you can't be on 2. You only get to be on just 1. And so Lucy is like, oh, okay. She's thinking she's got some time, right? She doesn't. She doesn't have any time. They're deciding right then and there which board she's on. They need her off of the MDC board. And you heard Dan Corrales said, the reason Heather Brittamus got up and she was speaking on her behalf. Thank God for Heather Brittamus being there to speak up for Lucy, because this was not something that was planned to be done. I mean, it was on the agenda, but everything is done in kind of covert tone.
Yeah.
So that we don't have a big uproar, because I can guarantee you anybody who knew Lucy would have been down there immediately saying, absolutely not. She's the best woman for the job on both boards.
Yeah.
And so they pulled her off of MDC because she questions and she doesn't vote yes on everything. And they needed her off. And that's exactly what they did. And now she's over on planning and zoning, still on planning and zoning, and she's doing the same thing as she would have on both boards at the same time, questioning and standing her ground. If it's fair and it's reasonable, let's do it.
Yeah.
But if it's not, we're saying no. Another thing about MDC is they're meeting at the chamber, City of Midland Chamber of Commerce. They need to be bringing those meetings back to the city council chambers.
Yeah.
So that public can actually attend, because we need to be speaking up. Every bit of Midland Development Corporation is our tax dollars.
Yeah, you need oversight.
Yeah, $16 million budget. I think we need some accountability there.
Yeah.
We had a $6,000 Cowboy Prime steakhouse.
Yeah, we saw those.
Have y'all been to Cowboy Prime?
No, I haven't.
I've been once with my company, and we spoke and we spoke briefly with Lori Blong about it, right? Because the truth of the matter is, like, when you're wooing a client per se, right, or whatever, and you're having these meetings, whatever it is you're doing, right? It matters to have. If they were to itemize, is what I said, right? Yeah. If you were to itemize and tell me there was 12 entrees on this bill and whatever, man, no champagne, no nothing crazy, stuff of that nature, and it was literally a meeting and you were transparent about it, I'm probably okay with that, because I do the same thing with my company with, clients or what have you, right? Although there's probably liquor and stuff involved in those, right? But
I want to be invited to that next meeting.
But I think that you're 100% right. There should be oversight. How much oversight does the council have over MDC? Because I don't really understand the relationship too much. Everybody that we speak to, it's kind of like, even Judd, right? It's kind of like MDC is obviously associated to the city, but how much oversight they have over MDC is kind of up in the air. I don't know if you know or not. And when it comes to choosing the people that are in MDC, it's 100% voted on by council members, or how does that work exactly?
So from my understanding, it's all appointed by council members.
Okay.
But you've got Sarah Harris, who's at the top of MDC. And one thing that we know is MDC receives, if your business were to submit some kind of request, it is not done online. The only thing they have online is the 308, which is tax abatement.
Okay.
So they keep saying, oh, it is already online. It's already online. Judd Campbell is right. It is not online. The only thing they have is the 308 tax abatement. So unless your company wants a tax abatement, if they're wanting any help or, positioning with MDC, they have to go and submit through an email. Not all of the council members, not all the members on MDC have a specific email. So it's actually just one email, and it all goes to the director, and she picks and chooses what goes to the board. And that's not okay. It needs to be open and concise to everyone.
Yeah.
So, and we need to make sure that those online applications can be submitted. And those, as soon as you submit them, it shoots it to every single member of MDC and the director, not just to the director, and she cherry picks and pulls who she wants. I'm not saying that's what she's doing, but I guarantee you, if we FOIA her last, applications, she's only going to have 3 or 4 because they come to her and she says what goes in the trash and what doesn't.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot more businesses, I know for a fact, that have done that and had no response or were turned away. As far as council goes, with a relationship with MDC, council should be over MDC.
Right.
Currently, they almost seem to be running parallel. They almost are running under their own rules.
And we get that feeling.
Yes.
From everyone, right? It's from Judd, from Lori, from everyone, you get that feeling.
And MDC was voted on and put in place by voters. I feel like if we want it to go away, it should be able to be voted away. Do I think MDC needs to be voted away? My personal absolute opinion, no. We have that sales dollar amount that we're currently collecting. We can make good utilization. And MDC is putting now 33% into roads and infrastructure.
Okay.
So I'm grateful for that.
Yes.
But we need to make sure we need more like 60%. So we're not passing another $5 million bond in 3 years for roads.
Agreed.
So we need to make sure that MDC is, if that is our biggest concern is roads, we need to make sure majority of that money is going back to roads. And eventually we're going to come out on top, that we're going to have such an overflow that we can say, you know what, we want to do something spectacular. We want to do a large splash pad, for the kids, whatever it may be, whatever in the world it may be.
Yeah.
And then let the constituents and taxpayers who are putting that money in vote on it.
Yeah. And so to expand on that a little bit, when we talked to Mayor Blanc, she said that there were many opportunities that come, right? That come with she didn't say this exactly. She just said we obviously needed to take the opportunities when they present themselves, as far as let's say, for example, because we live in Midland, right? An oil company wants to pay for a certain percentage for a project, and let's say a splash pad, right? Like you just mentioned. Do you think it is still okay for us to work hand in hand with the large oil field corporations here, right? That say, okay, we'll put a splash pad here. I'm going to give you whatever, 20%, 25% for it. Do you think, in your opinion, it is good for us to accept that money and then take on the subsequent 70% expenditure from our end? Do you think those are the things that we should be taking advantage of, or should we put that to vote, or what are your thoughts on this? Because I know that happens a lot.
Oh, absolutely. One, I think we should be demanding more from our companies.
Yeah.
Who was it today? They just had, they're expanding their parking lot, and it's like $14 million upgrade.
Oh man, I
couldn't tell you.
It could be anybody.
Yeah, it's going to be in Claydesta, behind Claydesta, I think.
They take their parking pretty damn serious.
Yeah, they're adding all these parking spots, and then they're going to do like $14 million in upgrades.
Yeah, it'll be.
And I was sitting here going,
everything.
$14 million in upgrades. $14 million in upgrades. We need to be demanding more from our oil companies that are here and involved. Yeah. I mean, I'm just absolutely saying, because they do put a stress. I love our oil companies.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I've got 2 businesses that run oil and gas base. I don't care who you are, anyone in Midland.
Yeah.
Whether you're the local boutique store or you're actually a oil field business, everybody runs off of oil and gas money.
Absolutely.
And so I believe we need to be demanding more from them, having holding them to a higher standard of what they're actually giving to our community. And yes, we're going to help back. And if it's something that makes sense, why would we not? We need to have an allocated dollar amount. We need to say, okay, we're going to say anything over $500,000 needs to go to a vote. $200,000 needs to go to the votes. It needs to go to the constituents. Yeah. Do you want to pay for this? Because at the end of the day, it's not you or me paying for this. It's our grandchildren.
Yeah.
It's our grandchildren. This debt is going on to them. And we've got to stop it somewhere, because we're going to lose our traditional values of taking care of our families, taking care of our homes. Because at the end of the day, they're going to be so busy. Moms and dads are going to be working 2 or 3 jobs because taxes are so high.
Yes.
Yeah. It's really gotten crazier
agree.
too. I mean, it's just, even with Cheston Blank, when he kept talking about housing and stuff. I mean, I get it because, it's crazy.
Because we all feel it, right?
Yeah. I mean, we work in the oil field, but like I have family members that don't. And I feel like it's part on them. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody has family that's not totally involved, or even retirees, right? My parents are retired. And both of them are retired. Yeah. My dad basically was an oil man his whole life, but being an oil man and then retiring, they're completely different lifestyles. And I see it myself. So some of the stuff rings true for sure. I do like that, even though we sit on we're standing on different platforms or whatever. Some of the stuff that Lori Blanc says and some of the stuff that you're talking about, I think there's a medium there.
Oh,
for sure. And you can see that there's a medium there. We don't know who will be the mayor in January, right? We don't know yet. We know who you're pulling for sure, right? I think they both, and the debate was amazing, but I think they both have points. And Judd definitely is a specialist for sure when it comes to numbers. We saw that firsthand when he was in here. So how do you feel about one way or the other? I mean, obviously you're pulling for Judd Campbell, right? But if Lori Blanc were to win, and if you were to win, and now it's time to work hand in hand, and I can see the middle ground there. How do you think that'll work for you? Do you think you would work well with Lori Blanc?
Oh, absolutely. I think Lori Blanc's a great person. I've never said she's not. And, one thing we would need to make sure is when we pick mayor that we are truly picking what is going to be best for Midland in the next decade. Not today, not tomorrow. We need actual long-term goals. And so Lori's got plenty of expertise. Lori went and fought for us to get that bill, the 7 bill passed for the water. And that was $2.5 billion. Now we need to go fight and get it allocated back to here because it was a grant. So do y'all know what grants are?
We don't know how they work.
Okay,
there you go. That's the best way to.
Layman's term, a grant is taxpayer money that has been over collected. So it's your money and my money that was overpaid.
Yeah.
We need to go get it back, and we need to allocate every single dime, dollar, penny, half cent that we possibly can back here into Midland.
And this is from the state.
This is from the state.
Okay.
This is from the state. And so when you've got $2.5 billion out there for grabs, we need to be fighting for it. Now, there was just in 2023, there was $1.5 billion. And the county needs to be doing the same thing. We need to all be going and, give us this money because it's for water infrastructure. It's for, that's exactly what that was for.
Yeah.
So she was able to go and do that. I was super excited about that. There's so many things that she has done that I have absolutely stood by and approved of. There are things that I disagree with. And at the end of the day, it's bringing all of your collective decisions to one table, bringing all of your points of view, where you come, where I come. And my point of view is my constituents. 22,000 people is what my view will be on that table. It's going to be the majority of what they want in a certain situation and saying, okay, this is what my constituents' concern is. And so when you're fighting for your people, there's no reason that you can't compromise with anybody for the better of your people. Because this is my neighborhood. These are my neighbors. These are my friends.
Yeah.
These are people that I pass at the grocery store. These are people that I make friends with in line at HB, even if they don't know me.
Yeah.
And so, but it's just, that's who they are. And so I want to be able to bring their voices. And so at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with, can I work with? Can I do that? Because it's not about Shandy. It's about 22,000 constituents that believed in you.
Yeah.
And you're taking their voices to the table. And I don't think we couldn't compromise for the greater of Midland. That's a very large district that I have.
Absolutely.
And it's a very important district. Its majority is the Hispanic population.
Yeah.
We need the Hispanic population out and voting. Everyone I ran into, I'm like, please go vote. Do you understand you are the majority?
Yeah.
We need your values. And they're like, we're not registered. We don't vote. We just go to work. And I'm like, you could literally run this town.
Yeah.
We need the Hispanic population out. Their values are so strong. Their traditions are even stronger. And they're just a very, very important factor. And they are majority. They have lived their whole life thinking they're minority. It is not anymore.
Yeah.
It is not.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of tweets too. Like I remember back when people were like trying to come after the Hispanic community, like the left.
Yeah.
And they're like, we can't win with these guys. These guys are not,
Nah,
because our values are just too strong.
Yes.
I mean, our traditions in a way. But I do respect that, But I think what you're like you're saying, you're going to be the voice for us, and I do see that because
Absolutely.
we're the voters right here too.
I do appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you have a lot of information, which is, and honestly, it's I'm like listening, like, dang, I didn't even know that stuff, man. It's
And I
crazy.
appreciate that.
Eye-opening.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I feel like, and I will tell you, I said it and I'll say it again. I only know what I know, and I don't know what I don't know. I don't know everything.
Yeah.
But there's nothing that I'm not willing to learn about.
Yeah.
There's not one stone I'm willing to say, I'm not going to turn that one over. If it's going to affect the people in my district, I'm going to know about it. I was turning stones over in Greenwood. Half of Midland was like, she's running for District 3. Doesn't she live in Greenwood? Doesn't she? And I didn't know a single person that lived in Vander Ranch.
Yeah.
I do now, and I'm blessed by multiple friends, out there. But it's they're my neighbor.
Yeah.
I
know
they're my
people
neighbor.
there, and it's yeah.
They've been stressed
I can't
out
imagine
about it.
Yeah,
It's
for sure. I mean,
frustrating.
it's middle of the night, shutting off their water type. Like it's
Middle of the day.
Yeah, it's just rough, and they were sold on something beautiful, and it's
RO
come very
quality
short.
water.
Yeah.
And they paid for RO quality water.
Yeah.
We got the screenshots. Thank gosh they changed the website because it said your water will never be turned off. There is no need for an RO filter. And just
terrible.
blatant lies. And they're paying $400, and that's without a drop coming out of their faucet.
Yeah.
So, I can, everybody says, well, why would you move to Greenwood? There's no water there. Well, when you are sold that and you're paying that price tag, you think that somebody's going to be held to a standard.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And some people don't know. I never heard of that till recently. So, I would have never known that.
Yeah,
so.
100%. I wouldn't have known, and I could have gone out there and they could have sold me on that water and everything. You got to put yourself in the shoes of the people that are living there. There's no way anybody could tell me, any normal working person like myself or Ricky can tell me that they would have had some foresight on that situation. Impossible. Because I know those people would have been like, I'm not going to do this. What I mean? Excuse my language, but.
So how's your campaign been? How do you feel your campaign's been since you started?
I feel my campaign's been strong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's been focused. I'll use that. It's been focused. Yeah. I've had a lot of chaos going on. I'm under a full house remodel that started long before I threw my hat in, which is fine. My husband had a massive heart attack, and so we were dealing with that double bypass. And he's doing great, and everything is just. But the focus has been the entire time on one step in front of the other. Just as simple measure, keep going forward. Yeah. There is no turn back. And, they tried to do a smear campaign on me. It's not going to work because I'm not listening. Mm-hmm. There's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can touch. All of these things were just kind of like being thrown in my lap. And I'm like, and we focus. We just keep our eye on the prize that we're running for, and that is for City Council District 3.
Wow.
That's wonderful, man.
Honestly, it's been I've learned a lot.
Been a great episode.
Yeah, I've learned a lot on this. I didn't expect to learn all this stuff, to be honest with you. So
it makes me happy and worried all at the same time, right? We love information, and I mean, we're in this game for that, to learn from everybody that comes in and speaks with us. And man, we really appreciate the time. And I don't know if there's any last words you want to give to the people. What we like to say is, man, we're in all the wireline trucks. So whatever you want to say to those blue collar guys out there listening, all the wireline trucks, the drilling trucks, everything, we're in as many of those as we can possibly get into, right? And but those are the people. Those are the people that you're going to be speaking for.
That is exactly what I want to run for. I don't want to run for white collar Midland. In fact, old Midland is a guaranteed, most likely. I mean, that entire district is going to go. I've got several people there who are backing me, but 90% it's going to be Jack Ladd, because that is the corporate. Yeah. That is the corporate of Midland. And I'm okay with that. And I'm touching all the blue collar, because those are the guys who are just like me. Yeah. We're struggling. We need tax breaks. We need tax incentives. It doesn't need to be just to your big name oil companies. Mm-hmm. It needs to be to the little guys. These trucking industries who are just now starting up mom and pop, they need some of that MDC money. Mm-hmm. And we need to be giving it to them. We need to be encouraging them to build their businesses, because at the end of the day, they're the ones running our industry. Yeah. It's our blue collar workers. And I know we've always said, Odessa's the service, Midland's the owners. We can say that all day we want, but at the end of the day, the truth is the blue collar workers are the ones who run Midland, Texas. And it's time to put the power back in their hands. And what do they want? What do they expect Midland to look like in the next decade? And it's not going to be in debt. And every load they haul is 75% going into taxes, 75% going into maintenance of their vehicles, because roads are just crap. Yeah. It's not that. And they're going to have opportunities. Another thing I want to do is I want to make sure that we are on our bids for our roads. We've got several companies here. We used to open all of the bids up. Mm-hmm. Staff personnel, one person would open it, another person would record it. It was all done in public. That's now done behind closed doors. We're only getting 2 or 3 bids for a project. We're allocating money out of Midland for those projects. Let's try keeping that money in. And if we're saving money, we can afford to pay Midlanders a little bit more for a project, knowing that it's done. And they're going to have to pass over that road, that pipeline, that water, whatever situation it is.
That's a very good point.
And so I really want to make sure that the blue collar workers know I'm with them. I'm for them, and I will speak for them. And I just need them to know they are the heart, they are the soul of Midland, Texas.
Perfect, man.
That was awesome. That's
couldn't have said it any better, man.
Yeah,
it's very important. So everybody, it's very important to get out and vote. Early voting is
20th,
the 20th
October through the 31st.
There you go.
And then November 4th will be election day. Yeah. So everybody get out and vote. I know the Patch Boys are going to get out and vote, and it's very important for everybody to do so. And hopefully more people got registered this year. We'll have a big turnout of voters. And yeah, I think it's not wrong to say that the Patch Boys will be voting for Shandy Williams.
Yeah, I think it's I mean, my wife said she would, so she said to tell you that, you know what I mean?
Boss,
but yeah, there you go. But
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's great. It's been great hearing you talk and stuff. So
yeah, I think a change is needed and warranted.
So the good thing is, if we can get our blue collar boys a break on taxes, their wives will be a little bit more happier.
Absolutely.
Because they're going to have them home a little more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
A little more present.
Sure. Yeah. So, man, we can't thank you enough for coming out.
Thank you guys for having me.
And for the people out there that don't know, it's Thursday. Damn it. It's Thursday, so we absolutely got to thank Shandy Williams for coming out here on a Thursday afternoon. It's busy out throughout the week, man, and we appreciate you guys for listening.
Yes, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys, check out our sponsor, Underdog Wireline. I know you heard of them, but I'm going to remind you guys, they offer wireline services from anything from open hole to completion. They do logging, they do frac jobs, they do about pretty much anything you want. They also offer layout machines. They got a slick line. They even got a torque and test now. So, give these guys a call. We're going to have all the links in the description below us. Give them a shout out. They're a local business out of Midland, Texas, and they really are a great company, man. So, show them support like you support us. Appreciate it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Patch Boys again, here to announce yet another sponsor, Branded 14 Hot Shot Services LLC. They offer hot shot work, ESP spooling, ESP technician service, and heavy hauling with semis. These guys are local. They're helping us out, so we want to help them out. Go give them a call at 432-638-1755. All the other information we're going to put right down here, so you guys can give them a call, send them an email, however you need to get in contact with them. We appreciate it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Patch Boys here. Blessed again to be announcing another sponsor for us. This one's going to be Titan. They're running out of crane. They're real close to me. It's family. So we want you guys to support them like they support us, right? So they're running out of crane. If you want to get in contact with them, it's 432-307-1960. Some of the stuff that they offer right now, if they have rustabout maintenance crews, trash trailers, porta potties, combo trailers, forklifts, and they're adding more stuff every single day. So if you guys want to support them so they can continue to support us and give you all the content that you want, go ahead and give them a call. Thank you.